So starting off with the Buick jump, we did the limo world record jump. It was cool, but we didn't quite have proper jump with the proper landing. While we still beat the dirt to dirt world record at that time, I've beat it since.
So the gap jump in Utah, that all of the top drivers in the world freak out with their suspension, the roll cage. This is like 15 feet further than that.
Okay.
So it's like the same. And you're doing it in a limo with no roll cage or safety harness or suspension.
It was cool. Like, we did land, I think, the world's first limo kickflip mildly intentionally. I probably could have saved the roll had I turned out of it, but I turned into it, did the full kickflip, kept driving. So I know that's kind of the world's first limo kickflip barrel roll. It's been tried. There was another guy that's been trying it. We did try to do a full barrel roll in the air. Didn't quite work. That one actually did work. Like I said, mildly intentional. Didn't plan for it at all. I kind of got up on two wheels, could turn out of it and save it, or we could turn into it. I've got enough momentum. I think I'm gonna go all the way around. I don't know how close I was to the wall now that I say that. I mean, I was able to do a full barrel roll and not hit the wall, so I probably would have been fine. In my opinion, the kickflip turned out arguably cooler than the actual jump itself, so was stoked on that. But then wild hair or idea that I've been wanting to do for a long time was to beat Clark Griswold at his own game. They jumped the family truckster in National Lampoons. He goes and stands on top after they get done jumping, and he goes 50 yards. So 150 feet, like, that's a jump.
That's nothing to be proud of, Rusty.
Yeah, it's funny. He's just like trying to teach his kid a lesson, and then kind of goes back, wow, man, that was awesome. So yeah, that was kind of my goal is, all right, Clark, how do I beat you at your own game? How do we do this? And that is what we set out to do. So I called up the boys over at More Speed. They are out of Ohio, which is pretty close to Bowling Green-ish. It's closer than Utah. So we called up Jon Moore, and that guy's legendary. Like, this was very, very last minute. There's no minute like the last minute to get things done. Maybe 10 days left before this thing's supposed to go down, and I've said, we're gonna do it. Agreed on what's gonna happen and everything that way. Find the car, and I say we. All this we talk is him saying, hey, I found a car. Can you talk to the guy? I start talking to the guy. They agree to go get it. They've got their own projects. He's got, like, definitely the world's fastest lifted off-road Crown Vic. Does an amazing quarter mile, but we knew to beat Clark's record, we were gonna need some horsepower. The Buick Roadmaster wagon comes with the Chev 350, decent motor. That's what was in that limo that we jumped for the LS Fest West. Again, you kind of see, while it's a good motor, it lacks power to really get up to speed quick. I thought it was gonna have more to run in, way less than a quarter mile. And this was a off camber, almost 90-degree left turn. It did have the bonus of a pretty good amount of downhill right before the jump. We went, and again, this is 10 days before LS Fest East, the big show. He's got the LS, and they do the full swap. To give it about, we were probably pushing about 400 horsepower now. I just remember showing up. I didn't grin. I'm just so happy right now.
We hope when we start it up, we don't scare the shit out of you, you know?
And starting that thing for the first time. And
It's the best day ever. This is the best day ever.
this has horsepower. It's loud. This car can probably do something. I was really shocked on how fast they got it done. They still had the stock seat in it. It did have a roll cage. It did have belts, but yeah, bone stock. No racing seat other than the plush cushion couch style front bench seat that you get in a Roadmaster classic 90s wagon. We went to work on kind of building and testing, or not really testing, I say testing, we did not test that jump, but building it. The problem is, I should say the problem, it's an awesome event with LS Fest, is that they kind of let anybody and everybody go around, and this was just the off-road track. So I prefer a steeper incline than what most are gonna want, but most people are trying to beat Clark Griswold and jump 150 feet. They're like, no, I want my car to survive this. So they had a decent jump. We saw a handful of guys jump pretty good, some LS swap Jeeps and some Ultra 4 guys getting some decent air. Maybe jumping a third of it, maybe jumping like 50 feet max. They're giving me speeds and telling me, oh yeah, I hit it about 50, I hit it about 60, and just kind of knowing a little bit, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if that's that fast. Also, we need to be steeper. The degree of incline needed to be a touch steeper for when I was gonna go, if I was actually gonna try and beat Clark Griswold. The weekend's moving through, they're like, we're gonna leave it Friday, and then Saturday when you go, we'll change the lip. we'll make it a little steeper, or we'll give you a run-in. As luck would have it, none of that was happening. It's just a busy week for those guys. The crew that's on the ground, they get pulled in a million directions. There's a million different squirrels that go and chase. So I know for 20 seconds of hype and whatever else, yeah, I'm not super high on the priority list, which rightfully so. They've got so many different competitors, so many different things going on. It's about 2 hours before I'm supposed to go and jump this thing. Hey, remember that jump we talked about making steeper? Can we do that? So he starts working on the lip, rightfully so. He makes it a lot steeper. Actually the calibrator in his tractor was off. So we got a cell phone app that will let us measure degrees of angle. I wanted to be right in about 15 degrees of angle to really just give me a little bit more lift. Doesn't necessarily mean distance. If you want to go distance-wise, it is diminishing returns. The steeper you get, the higher you go, it looks cooler, but you don't go as far. You gotta be in that good balance of height versus distance. At the end of the day, we were lucky to work with some awesome companies and work with some really cool sponsors that allow us to kind of keep the stuff going. And we've learned that you can jump as far as you want, and you can cue another Buick clip. I did a Buick jump up in Montana, jumped about 200 feet. It was a bone stock Buick off an awesome jump that we built just to kind of test theories and stuff. It didn't perform well at all. So that's where height becomes a thing. Like if you're not off the ground, who cares?
Good job.
Oh, that was a stunt! Oh, that was fun.
So it's got to be height mixed with distance. Everything's exaggerated once you leave the takeoff. So if the takeoff is bent a little, your car is going to land either on its side or upside down. That was one thing we were concerned of. The other part of that was the run-in. This run-in was just through an open field. They had mentioned that we'll grade it down and we'll give you a path. Also hadn't been done yet. Takeoff, is it perfect? No, but it's good enough. The sweeping turn it was uneven, it had rocks. So we're 45 minutes before jump time. They start to grade in this path and give me the run-in that we'd all talked about. While all this is going on, we're looking at the jump.
Not making excuses, I'm just saying that the smoother you can get on this, the better. Right now it's not smooth, but we got the guys on the track trying to clean this up a little bit, whatever they can figure out. Jim will figure out here in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was good enough for what we could tell. And I started as far back as I could go that was still on the property, backed all the way up to a fence. I'm backed up to that fence on a paved road, so we have a start on a paved road. I shouldn't say hard 90, but it was a, angled in turn, kind of a long sweeping turn in, up over a hill, down the hill, and then to the takeoff. It set 2 checkered flags out at that 150-foot mark. We're kind of talking about it, and the guys are, hey man, like this will be cool, don't hurt yourself, but we don't think you're gonna make it, so put on a show, it'll be a good show. You'll jump pretty far. And I just kind of looked at everybody and I go, I can promise you one thing. I will not lift my foot until I've hit the ground. I will give this thing as much speed as I possibly can to make it. There's the full in-car me, and I did start in first, kept it into first, and then when I come around the corner, I'll wait to bounce off the rev limiter, shift it into second, and then we're just gonna give it everything she has. So as soon as I kind of straighten out off that 90-ish degree turn, I bump it into second, and at that point, it's anybody's best guess on how fast I was going. I had actually this phone duct taped to the inside of my steering wheel. Yeah, it didn't have a speedometer or anything. It was lagging on updates. It goes from 55 to 63, and then I'm in the air. I had to be going faster than that. The little math I know, and the little math that anybody would understand that's jumped cars before, 63 miles an hour isn't quite enough to get you past that 150-foot mark, and I did. So that was kind of the fun part. You watch the video, you can hear the whole thing bouncing off the rev limiter. It's just da 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 da, boom. And yeah, they also hadn't built a landing. Had we had a landing, that car would have driven away. I landed flat. Here's flat. Everything's broken, but it was a moment of excitement to like, oh sh**. Because I see the 2 checkered flags out of my peripheral. I'm like, yes! And then I'm just staring at the ground. I'm like, oh boy, this is good. Do one roll and you can tell where you're at if you're not knocked out. That had to look so violent because it felt violent. And the sign that I was okay was to reach out of the roof, tap the roof, be like, hey, I'm good. So yeah, instantly my hands just like, yes, that was awesome. Cars destroyed. That had to look pretty wild. Beat the record, or passed Clark Griswold, and landed a double kickflip. I think I had still more inflated tires than he did with 3 inflated tires, only popped 1. And the rear seat, the rear rumble seat was still intact. So I call it a win. Like, oh, you didn't drive away. I'm like, I landed on all 4 wheels. At the end of the day, we accomplished what we set out to do, and that was to jump further than Clark Griswold. He didn't drive away from his, we didn't drive away from ours. I survived it, and so that, in my opinion, called a win. It did what we set out to do. It put on a show. It beat Clark's record. I think the final tally was 169 feet. Nice. The goal we had set out to accomplish was checked. To get like compliments from, you know, people like you look up to, or just, you know, your peers, to like hear those kind of comments was really, really cool, and it stuck through. That gonna live forever, and that's why people know stunts I've done. They don't know it's me. I'm okay with that. I get to do what I like to do. I get to jump cars. I get to have a good time. Which we actually did bend the roll bar, and everybody was giving them grief, and I'm like, if the roll bar hadn't been there, I'd be dead. That took such a hard impact that I just, congratulations to them for building it, and it did its job. So that is the Buick jump, and kind of a behind the scenes look at all of that.